Star Wars Fortnite Battlefront. In this volume titled Tales of the Battlefront, throughout the duration of Star Wars Fortnite Battlefront, some things from my Battlefront past have been represented, and Star Wars Fortnite Battlefront, some things have been represented, you know, and there's some stuff that I haven't represented yet, and I've been trying to figure out how to represent them in a certain way. As you can see, this is the Battle of Hoth, which was a staple on Battlefront and in Battlefront 2 on Galactic Assault and Walker Assault. And yeah, so there's certain topics I want to discuss, you know, just to be represented in some way, shape, and form. Some stuff I've been trying to figure out what to do with it. So the Tales of the Battlefront is the best way to cram them into one, because, you know, this volume series, I want it to be more action-based than anything else. So we're cramming all of this into one, basically. So we're going to just go right into it. First thing we're going to talk about is JVD. JVD was a Battlefront player who I played with following the first death of Unit in between the break period. And it was on Galactic Assault, and me and him played Galactic Assault, and we made some good videos. You know, don't really remember too much about him. I just want to mention him because he was a decent part of my Battlefront run. Next thing I want to talk about is War of Attrition. Of course, that's a big one. War of Attrition was a volume series that I did on Battlefront. It was mostly... It started in Thrawn's Fist, and, you know, and then it moved to... you know, other things, and it was on many games, but it was on Battlefront heavily. Battlefront is what made it special, especially the War of Attrition Supremacy games, which we did like even a 3-hour match. You know, it was an hour game a lot, and Shockwave was a big part of that and helping build it, and Optimus, of course, Master, you know, fun. So many classic War of Attrition volumes. It's just like it. When I think of Battlefront, I think of Capital Supremacy and the War of Attrition. War of Attrition was a lot of fun to do. I miss those type of 20v20 long-ass fucking game, tug of war on the ground, go up on the ship, blow it up. You know, it didn't get any better than that. Next thing I want to discuss is Josh. Josh is someone, JAPB, who I met through Mrs. Headley, but also Rogue 81st, and me and Josh played Starfighter Assault, we played Heroes and Villains, we played Supremacy, but the highlight was Strike, which I'm also going to talk about Strike, and me and Josh, you know, played a lot of Strike. We played a lot of Strike throughout the years on Battlefront, and it's definitely a highlight. Me and Josh playing Strike. It's one of the best things on Battlefront I ever did was play Strike, because I absolutely loved the competitiveness of a Strike match. And Josh has meant a lot to my Battlefront run, and I'm still good friends with Josh to this day. Strike itself was a great mode when I talk about it. It had payload matches, or where you capture zones and capture points and sabotage and detonate, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. The Naboo is a great map. Hoth is a great map. Extraction version of Strike on what's it called? I forget what that map is called. It's Kessel or whatever. Naboo is a great map. Yeah, you know, I forget the other Strike match. Oh, the First Order base is another good one. Taco Donna's another good one. Like a lot of great moments and strike matches. Next thing I want to talk about is Galactic Assault. I had a lot of fun in Galactic Assault. You know, playing with JVD, you know, playing with Minic, you know, playing with Clone Force 99. You know, Galactic Assault was a great mode. It basically was Walker Assault, but it wasn't Walker Assault. You know, Hoth was a great map. Death Star was a great map. Jakku was a great map. Takodana was a great map. Naboo was a great map. I mean, like, Geonosis was a great map. There's Galactic Assault, all the maps were pretty good, actually. And I didn't get to play it as much as every other mode that I really dived into, but I did like it for what it was. I had a lot of good kill streaks as heroes on it. Next thing I want to talk about is Gunner. Gunner was in Thrawn's Fist. He was the co-leader. Gunner is a great Battlefront player. Before I met Gunner, I knew who Gunner was because the competition was Shadow Fox. And, you know, what became Thrawn's Fist was a merging of Unit and the stream team, which was Shock, Gunner, and Shadow Fox. You know, it was a merging of the two clans, just minus Minic and minus Shadow Fox, of course. But it was the best of both worlds, is what we called Thrawn's Fist. And Gunner was a great player from Battlefront 1, man. He was a great boss. I saw a stream once, like a year or two before I met Gunner, and I knew who he was just off the fact of being on Shadow Fox's stream and being a boss, and Shadow Fox really didn't appreciate Gunner that much. But when Gunner was with me, I appreciated him a lot. I took his advice. I made him co-leader. You know, his input mattered to me from a Battlefront aspect. You know, he's a great heroes and villains player. He's a great troopers player. Like, Gunner's not a name people really know outside the people who know Gunner. But Gunner, to me, is one of the best Battlefront players I've ever known, and I had a lot of good moments with Gunner. I'm disappointed how Thrawn's Fist ended, but it just is what it is. But Gunner's a great player. He deserves to be represented and acknowledged. Another one I want to talk about is Sleepy. Sleepy was a great streamer for Battlefront. He's the guy. He is the best, and I mean the best rocket jumper in the history of Battlefront 2. Sleepy's a veteran from Battlefront 1 as well, and he was a known streamer. I played a lot with him, and me and Sleepy were good friends and good allies, and he was a good name to have your back, you know, for him to respect me the same way as a player and appreciate me the same way back was a lot, because Sleepy was one of the big names when it came to Battlefront on Twitch, and it came to Battlefront in the lobbies. You know, Sleepy was one of the greats, you know. He really, really was. And I learned a lot by watching him use rocket jumper, and I became a great rocket jumper listening to him and watching him do what he did at the level he did it at. I don't know where Sleepy is today. I still have him added on Facebook, but he's not active anymore. You know, it's a shame, because at one time he was one of the greatest Battlefront players of all time. And I stand by that. You know, I stand by. Same thing with Shockwave. Like Shock was already represented on here, but I want to touch on Shock. Shock is the greatest heroes and villains player I've ever seen. Nobody loves Star Wars and nobody loves Battlefront more than Shock. You know, I'm disappointed how Team Thrawn's Fist ended, but me and Shock as Team Rusty was a great time on Hero Showdown.
I had a lot of good moments on Hero Showdown with Gunner, a lot of good Hero Showdown moments with Minnick, and but me and Shock was my favorite time on Hero Showdown. Shock is the best Battlefront 2 heroes and villains player I've ever seen, I've ever known, and I stand by that. Another one I want to touch on is Arsenal. Arsenal's the biggest Twitch streamer in the history of Battlefront 2. Arsenal is an old protege of mine. I knew Arsenal going back to Last of Us and Uncharted. And, Arsenal got everyone noticed. Everyone gunned for Arsenal. Everyone tried to stream snipe Arsenal, take him down. Like, Arsenal had everybody talking about him. Arsenal now is kind of struggling. He's trying to struggle to find his footing in life after Battlefront, but he never gives up and he consistently grinds. That's the one thing I have to say about Arsenal is determined to be the best at every single thing he tries to do. And Battlefront was no exception. Arsenal had everyone talking, and I played with Arsenal a bit against Rami, which is Shadow Legion, what was left of Shadow Legion and all the people, and I was on the other side because me and Rami are friends too. Another one I want to talk about is Rami, because Rami, Shadow Legion, he really helped me out in a big way after Optimus and me ended Team Nightmare. I never really competed with Shadow Legion, but I was helping run the clan behind the scenes, and Rami respected me, and I respected Rami, and Rami was a good ally and a good friend. But Arsenal, as far as Arsenal is concerned, Arsenal was a great Battlefront player. He deserves to be represented. Next is Darth Call. Darth Call is a Twitch streamer who dressed up as Darth Maul and cosplayed Darth Maul. He was trash at the game, every mode, but he was a big name. I defeated him. Me and Reckless defeated him, and that's basically it. Next I want to talk about is Fun. Fun is one of my kids that I had in the clan and unit, me and Minnick had, and Fun was a good player. Like, Fun was a good heroes and villains player. He was a good Anakin player, a good Fun player. Like, Fun was a great player. And we had Fun Team Nightmare, and Fun was me and Fun running Yoda, Anakin, or Grievous, Dooku, and oh man, like, he was Finn on Supremacy. I mean, for Resistance Supremacy. And Fun's a great player. Fun is a really good player. He's a really good friend, and Fun was loyal to the clan, whatever clan it was, and he deserves to be represented. Next I want to mention is Goofy Jr. Goofy Jr. was a strike player. He was sweaty as fuck. He wasn't really a rival or an enemy. I can't really call him that, but what he was every time me and Josh searched on strike, towards the end of when we played strike, always Goofy was on. Always, man. You had to sweat your ass off to play. He wasn't unbeatable. Like, I beat him a lot, but man, was he fucking just relentless. He made you sweat your ass off. But it was good fun. It made me rage. It made good content. It made good matches. It made good videos. It was a good ass time. Next thing I want to talk about is Thrawn's Fist, which I didn't really, I put Shock in a cameo, as a spoof, wasn't a disrespect or anything. But Thrawn's Fist was a big part of my Battlefront run. It was the best clan I ever did, and heroes and villains. Heroes and villains. The best time I had heroes and villains was unit,
Me and Minnick, of course. Me and Minnick were just, that's where I got my name out there, was with Minnick. Or me and Minnick, I would be Yoda, hide under the steps on Death Star as Yoda. Nobody could get me. Funny times. Camping on Jabba's palace all the way at the top with a fucking Bosk and a Phasma and Kylo Ren and Vader and Iden, who was good times, man. Camping in Kashyyyk in the hut, like it was good times with Unit. Loved doing heroes and villains with Unit. But going back to Thrawn's Fist. Thrawn's Fist, man, it was perfection. It just, we were dominating every single match, every single lobby. It just, people like Lakabama Yang and X-Man and Hot Boy Fester and Shadow Strike and Slim Shady and Sky Guy and of course Gunner and Shock and me, and it was perfection. Absolute perfection. Another thing I want to, talk about, this is the last thing I think that I need to acknowledge, is capital supremacy, which was the best time I ever had on Battlefront. And, man, was that a great time. Just Clone Wars supremacy, the War of Attritions, Team Nightmare, even Thrawn's Fist, me and Master, me and Fun, I mean, like, me and Josh, Adios. Like, it just was a great freaking time, man. Like, the Clone Wars, Camino was amazing. Kashyyyk, or Optimus is like, oh my goddamn one! Kashyyyk, Camino, Geonosis was amazing. Like, Naboo. Like, just blowing up the ship, defending the ship, the droidicas, I mean, like, the kill streaks, the hero killers, Dooku, Grievous, Maul, Anakin, Yoda. I mean, just so many classic, iconic moments. Also, supremacy on Resistance was pretty good, too. The ship phases on those were pretty good, and Palpatine and Kylo kill streaks, Rey kill streaks, and Whiskers, the guy that calls in airstrikes, and Big Mamas, the big gunner. Taco Donna was crazy. Ajon Kloss was crazy. Jakku was crazy. Like it was a good time. It wasn't as good as Clone Wars, but it still was good. Now, Rebellion didn't really play it that much, but did do it a little bit, but it was mostly Clone Wars, and then Resistance was secondary, and I missed those days, man. Battlefront really was a good time, and doing this Star Wars Fortnite Battlefront, this basically is Battlefront 3, even though it's really not. It's Fortnite version of Battlefront, which I'm having a blast with. Everything from Battlefront is getting represented. Team Nightmare, bring it. I mean, like, fighting old rivals again, dipping my toes in old themes, reminiscing like I'm doing right now. Is like, it's great. This volume series so far has meant a lot to me, and my Battlefront legacy means a lot to me, and merging it with Fortnite is pretty good. So that's the tales of the Battlefront. All these topics needed to get represented some way, shape, and form during this volume series. It'd be a crime to leave them out, and yeah. So, yeah.